How long? A month. Yeah, a month. That's what I was trying to say. Man, I just passed my 64th birthday, and I'm really proud of it. You know, what's so funny about that? This guy comes up to me a month after the whipped cream album was released. He says, you know, Mr. Alpert, I love that cover. I think you should win an award for it. I love the girl. I love the whipped cream. I didn't have the heart to tell him it was shaving cream. And also, by the way, she was 3 months pregnant at the time. We're talking about the cover of the whipped cream album, and he wouldn't get off it. He says, man, you should win something for it. I like the colors. It looked some type of an award. I said, well, thank you very much. What about the music? He said, well, I haven't had a chance to listen to it. I wondered what he was doing for a month. Anyways, I'm going to play a little deja vu for you all. I hope some of these songs bring back some. with the Tijuana Brass. You gotta find a song that's, not too high and not too low, just kind of in between, something I can handle. I'm not a singer, but I can kind of carry a tune if I hear the right song. So he sent me This Girl's in Love With You that he recorded with Dionne Warwick. Because I asked him, I said, is there a song you find yourself whistling in the shower or something, and maybe you didn't get the right recording? Well, this was the song he was whistling in the shower. He sent that to me, and I really liked it. I liked the melody, I liked the feeling of the song. Obviously, the gender needed to be changed, but I said, let's do it. So Bert did the arrangements for me, and he played piano. We produced it in LA and put it in the television show, and then 2 weeks later, after the show was seen, it was #1 in the country. It was unbelievable. Yeah, but I'm really saying this because it was really odd, because they wrote great songs that were on the charts, but never a #1 record. This was #1, and it was done by a trumpet player. So it's and every now and then I sing the song, but you guys, would you like to sing that with me? Yeah, okay, under one condition, you gotta give it your all. Even if you think you can't sing, let it fly, nobody cares. Have a good time, okay? Here it comes. You see this sky, the sky's in love with you. Yes, I'm in love. Who looks at you the way I do? When you smile, I can't tell. We know each other very well. Again, I show you. I'm glad I got to know you, 'cause I need your love. I want your love. Say you're in love with this guy. He found my wife in Chicago singing in a club, and because of that, he put Lonnie in the group in Sergio Mendes' Brazil '66, and it's because I met Sergio and Lonnie. But before we get into that, I was going to do one song before. What is that song? I want to do is, every now and then you get lucky in this business. I feel like I'm not trying to be super humble, but you have to be at the right place at the right time. When you're a musician, if your time is there, things can happen. So somebody on TikTok took a song that I recorded 60 years ago, and it went viral. And people started, using it as background music to their videos. So far, I've had 3 billion streams on this song out of nowhere. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. It's crazy for me to think about it, being 64 years old, because there you go again. Because I started in this business before tape recorders. I had a wire recorder, web-core wire recorder. I just, to go from that extreme to the tape, and all of a sudden zeros and ones, and all of a sudden, somebody takes a song. I didn't solicit. I didn't know, even he doesn't know me from Adam. He didn't take it because he liked me. He just somehow liked the song that he heard. 3 billion streams is crazy, and not that you make a lot of money from it. It's because the royalty system has not been worked out with all these different platforms that play music. You get, each time get a performance, you get like 0.7200. You know, so you end up with a couple $100. A little more than that for this one, but it's you know what I mean. It's not fair for the great musicians that are out there trying to earn a living doing it. So I think we need to support our great musicians, our great artists, our painters and sculptors and poets and actors. They need our support. You know, the heartbeat. They're our heartbeat of our country. They point the way. They kind of open the door to things that we might not have thought of before. They get 100,000 streams from these various people a day. So if you expect to be heard on one of these platforms, then you really got to be fortunate and have the right song. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but it's like we're gonna do a song by Jason Mraz called "I'm Yours." There's a music video that we did. What we wanted to explore was the trumpet and romance around the world. Is there something in that? So this is our version of, you can see it on the screen. I'm Yours. Forgot. Okay, don't. You know, in 19... Don't yell at me. I'm a fragile guy. So in 1966, my partner Jerry Moss and I auditioned Sergio Mendes in Brazil '66. Walked in this room and heard this fantastic sound. Brazilian jazz, American jazz, classical, African, had all these elements, and we got all excited, and this young lady was the lead singer. And that whole sound knocked us out. We signed into a long contract, and I thought, wouldn't it be cool if Sergio and the group opened the show for us for a period of time, because that exposure would be fabulous for him. Because we were playing for, you know, like 20,000 people at a time, like Madison Square Garden type of. And so we decided to travel with Sergio for a period of time. But I got my group together before we started traveling. I said, guys, look at whatever you do, do not fool around with the girls in the group. There was Lonnie and a beautiful Brazilian lady. And I said, man, it's not smart, it's not good business, it's not professional. Yes, not professional. And in the long run, it could really haunt us, so don't do it, whatever you do. So check this out. I got rid of these guys, and Lonnie and I have been married for 51 years. I, lucky me, married an angel. This lady's an angel, and this angel's going to sing for you. She's going to do a little Sergio Brazil 66 retrospective, and start with a song that she really likes called Just Like a Star.
Just like a star across the sky, like an angel off the page, you appear in my life, and I have never been the same.
Lonnie Hall featuring her lonely bull Alpert with the banjo on his knee. Anybody have any thoughts, any questions, any ideas? Wow.
Did you ever hang out with Harry Nelson in the 60s?
I knew Harry before he became famous. He was like, I knew him when he was 17, Harry Nielsen. He was a bank teller. He worked for the Bank of America, and he used to come by the office all the time, very shy, very reserved. I didn't even know he was a singer, you know. And then he handed me some demo records that he did. He was an awfully nice guy, and towards the end of his life, he produced a record I did with Ringo. I did me and Ringo Star. The two was called When You Wish Upon a Star. Obviously that was Ringo. I played a solo on the record. I don't know if it ever came out. But it was fun. But Harry was a talented guy, really talented, and a wonderful singer, good artist. Did somebody else ask something else? What's that? Well, Janet Jackson was a doll. I mean, she's talented. And it's not because, you know, her brother Michael. She has her own talent. She's charming. She writes the lyrics. She's can dance. She's a heck of a good dancer. And I think in that particular period, when those records were happening, I think the dancers had a little bit of an edge, because the dancers always put the music into a groove that made your body move. And Janet was really good at that. And she was lucky to have Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis produce that record, the Control record. But she was talented and still is. And she's a very nice lady. Well, the Carpenters, that's another story. That's somebody. Wait a minute, I'm going to tell the Carpenters, give me a chance. I'm trying to thresh it out exactly how it happened. Somebody handed me a demo tape that they did. And when I heard it, it was like, wow, that's interesting. The arrangements are interesting. This voice that was on it was different. She kind of reminded me of Patti Page when I was going to school, that type of sound. And so I made contact with them, came to the office, and I realized, man, they're making music that is really coming out of them. I mean, it's not the type of music I would normally listen to, but I like their authenticity, the feeling of that they were giving all these songs that they were recording. And, you know, A&M Records was just myself and my partner Jerry Moss. So I signed them. I walked into Jerry's office and I just signed a group we had from Orange County called the Carpenters. He said, "Oh, great." And that was it. You know, it wasn't like a committee trying to make a decision. And one thing led to another. We gave them kind of full reign in the studio. That's what we like to do with our artists. You know, let them flag themselves down to the runway. I recorded for a major company for about a year and a half. I recorded for RCA Victor. And they treated me like a number. I couldn't believe it. This was obviously before the Tijuana Brass. In the recording studio, I was like 32575 take 2. You know, I didn't have a name. And then I recorded this one thing I kind of liked, listening to the playback, and I wanted to hear a little bit more bass, so I go up to the board and slightly lifted the bass track, and the engineer slapped my hand. He said, don't ever touch that board again. This is a union board. Wasn't that nice? And I filed all this stuff. They wouldn't let me put my horn on. I had an idea for a trumpet in the middle part. No, it's against the union, I don't know what we were talking about. Anyways, I filed all this stuff. And I said, if I ever had a chance to have my own record company, it would be artists first. The record company should revolve around the artists, and that's the type of company we have. A&M Records. We weren't looking for the beat of the week. I was looking for those artists that were doing something that's different, a little left of center. You know, the artists that take the road less traveled. Cat Stevens and then Sting. Well, Sting and his group, the Police, they were pretty mainstream, but this guy Sting, who was a lovely gentleman, writes a great song. This guy's good, you know, and it was really talented. It was just the three of them, and when I saw them, it sounded like 8 people were playing. And Sting was jumping around the stage like he was on a pogo stick or something. I mean, he was fabulous and really good looking with long blonde hair. But anyways. Pardon me? Well, unfortunately, most of them are gone, except Pat Sanator, who was the bass player, who was now living in Rome. Yeah. John Paisano was a dear friend of mine. John passed away about, 4 or 5 months ago. And he was real special for me. He was a great jazz guitar player. And whenever I needed help with chords or, got stuck on an idea, he would always come up with something that was worth listening to. So, yeah. And
what's your best advice to a young musician?
Be passionate about what you're doing, because I'm telling you, if you're not, there are a lot of people out there that want the same thing you do. So while you're sleeping, they're practicing. This is a good one. I had a problem playing the trumpet in 1970. I was going through a divorce and I wasn't feeling all that great. I was, stuttering through the instrument, and all of a sudden I never thought about how to play the instrument because I started playing when I was 8, and I never realized how you really make a sound out of it. But I did until that period, and all of a sudden I couldn't play right. So I heard about this trumpet teacher in New York City. His name was Carmine Caruso, and he was called the troubleshooter, and he would teach brass players from around the world who had problems playing. So Lonnie and I made contact with him, and I met him and said, Carmine, what am I doing wrong? Should I change my mouthpiece or the trumpet? He said, let me tell you something, kid. He said, this trumpet's just a piece of plumbing. It is, that's all it is. It's just a series of pipes. He says, you're the instrument. That instrument is you. It comes from deep inside you. I mean, the trumpet's just an amplifier. It's a megaphone. That's all it is. You got to find your sound, and that's a big aha for anybody out there. That's you got to find your own personality, your own way of doing it. For a long time, I used to try to play like Miles Davis, Louis Armstrong, Harry James, all the trumpet players that I like. And I realized, who wants to hear that? They've already done it. So I was looking for my own identity, and I got lucky in 1962 with this Lonely Bull record. Yeah, the Lonely Bull record was it went out of the box steaming, you know, like it was happening right from the get-go. And it jumped into the top 10 in the country, and I got a letter from a lady in Germany who said, "Dear Mr. Alpert, thank you for sending me on this vicarious trip to Tijuana." I chuckled when I read it, and then I thought, wow, that music was so visual for her that it took her something. I mean, she was 8,000 miles away from, you know, Tijuana, so I just said, I want to make that type of music. I want to make music that takes you someplace. But I concluded that I want to make music for myself. The music that makes me feel good. I feel if I can make music that makes me feel good and pick on songs that make me feel good, maybe some other people will like it. Instead of trying to say, I want to try to make a hit record. You can't make a hit record. You don't know what a hit record is going to sound like. Because there's so many cases where the companies were just wrong. There's a song called Walking My Baby Back Home by Nat King Cole. Well, that was the A side of the record. The B side was Mona Lisa, one of the biggest records he ever had, you know? And so you just never know what a hit record sounds like. I mean, people used to come in to A&M Records to distribute their product, because there were not many record companies in those days, people that produced records, so they were looking for distribution rights. So this guy comes in with this record, played it for me. I hated it, man. It was just too long, it was out of tune, it was just, there was something about it, just, I didn't feel good. But I said, look, man, just because I don't get what you're sending here, don't get discouraged. Discouraged? How do Americans say that? You know, go around to other companies and see what it is. Anyways, I turned it down. That was Louie. Mr. A, Mr. Big Shot, A&M Records turned it down. So anyway, pardon me? Need who? Oh, how do I keep my lip in shape? You know, a lot has to do with the air. You got to know how to breathe. And I'll tell you, am I telling you too much? Is this boring? Okay, I'll tell you another thing. During COVID, for some reason, I was isolated. I went into my studio and we didn't really go anyplace. And I started going back to all the teachers that taught me through the years. And I started going through their method. This one Russian teacher, he was the first trumpet player with the San Francisco Symphony. Every time he hit a high note, he'd put my hand, I was like 10 or 11, 12 years old, he'd put my hand on, way down here, he says, it has to come from the diaphragm. So I was thinking, why is that? Anyways, I relived that whole experience, and I started playing with more energy from the diaphragm, so the air just comes out in a steady fashion. And it sounds strange, but I can play better now at almost 90 than I could when I was 40. Because I understand it a little better, and also I'm trying as a musician just to be me. I mean, that's why it's so special for me to be able to do this. I just try to be myself. He had a notebook filled with lyrics, and he'd come up to me and says, Herbie, what do you think of this lyric? And I'd look at it, and I'd think to myself, man, this is the corniest lyric I've ever seen. And I didn't say that to him. I said, well, what does the song sound like? He picked up his guitar, started playing this thing, and I go, whoa, that's the same lyric? He transformed this lyric that I thought was awfully corny into magic. And I thought at that point, it ain't what you do, it's the way how you do it. And you know, that's hard to put your finger on that, but he taught me a lot about, you know, just finding your own niche. It's time for me to leave. Okay, where are we?
Rotation.
Yeah, we did that. Hang on. We got
Rotation.
some other things that we want to do. We're going to do, what's that? Oh, okay, yeah, there's a little cute little Christmas little ditty called Santa Baby.
This is a little hard for me because I lost a very close friend in Sergio. I think about him if I sing this song. He was extraordinary. He introduced me to the man of my life.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. She's gone away too long. Anytime she goes away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Only darkness every day. sunshine, but she's gone. There ain't no sunshine, but she's gone. She's gone away tomorrow. Anytime she goes away. Let it snow, let it snow. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, próspero año, felicidad. Wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. So offering a simple phrase, tickets from 1 to 92. Oh, it's been said many times, many ways. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas to you. Let me play among the stars.
It's always different. So it's always like a treat for Lonnie and I to listen to them. It's just like otherworldly what they invent. This is all improv. Everything you heard was improvisation. Absolutely, nothing was planned. Was that? You had an orgasm in your ear? Oh my God. That's wonderful. It could be a circus act. That's how you make $1 million playing jazz, though. You know how you make $1 million playing jazz? You start with 3 million. I know, it's a terrible thing to say. I wish I didn't have to say it. We have to support our great jazz musicians. Anybody have any thoughts before we play our... Pardon me? There's a new Tijuana Brass coming for my 90th birthday celebration. I think we're playing in Augusta, Georgia in February. It's going to be quite interesting. I mean, it's been quite a ride for me. Yeah. How do I run? How do I find, I don't know how to tell you this. I've been fortunate. I have a good sense of melody. I like melodies. I think that's what people respond to. Like Quincy Jones once said, you take the two greatest singers in the world and you give them a terrible song to sing, it's going to go nowhere. And I think that's true. It's all about the melody, the lyric, the feeling. And I think art is all about a feeling. That's all it is. That's what you respond to. You can't stand in front of a Jackson Pollock painting and try to analyze it. You got to feel it. If you don't feel it, you won't get it. It's okay too. So it's not for everyone. But you know, you see a painting like that, which should be in a museum. No, I'm kidding. But anyways, that's my interpretation of Fly Me to the Moon. And the guy's going to the moon. He missed the moon a bit, but he'll get back there. Okay, we're going to conclude with a song by Irving Berlin. It was done, seriously, one take. That's all it took. It took several rehearsals to get this one take, but it was the one take. It's not edited. This is our version of Putting on the Bridge. Thank you so much for being here. Say, why in the world are you doing this and traveling? This gives me energy. And I know a lot of artists come here and they try to sell you things you don't need. We're selling things you don't need back there too. You don't need it. And some of the songs we played tonight, you don't need that either. It's not going to change your life or anything. But it's back there. We're delighted to be here. You know, I was going to tell you about when I did This Guy's in Love with You. That lyric needed to be changed because it was written for Dionne Warwick. Is that right? Yes, that's right. And I called Hal David, who wrote the lyric, and asked him if he would change the gender for his TV show, blah, blah, blah. He said he'd be happy to. I flew to New York. And as I was leaving his place, I asked him the same thing I asked Bert. I said, is there a song that maybe you didn't get the right recording, or you find yourself singing in the shower or whistling in the shower? He says, I take baths. I said, in the bathtub. I said, I don't care where you. Anyways, he sent me Close to You. And I gave it, after I recorded it, but didn't feel that great about the recording, I gave it to Richard Carpenter. And that was the door opener for this incredible group that I signed in 1970. When a song was a song. Yeah, songs are rare these days. You know, you're driving your car and you stop at a signal and there's a car next to you playing a song. It sounds like this. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, that's another way of making music, I guess. Okay, so we're going to conclude with a song that I've been trying to play for the last couple of years because I like the song, I like the melody. I like melodies, I'm a melody guy. The song is Copacabana by Berlin. It's a little poppy, I know, it's a little pop song, but there's something about that melody that got me. And I was waiting to come up with an idea because I just didn't want to play the song. We would sound like a lounge act, you know? So I came up with this idea. Who sang is going to sing that first verse in English. Now, Lonnie doesn't know this right now, but because she can sing in any language. I've heard her sing in Swahili in the shower. She's going to sing this one in Portuguese. She's going to sing it. You'll do it, honey. You can do it. Just, she's going to sing that in Portuguese, and you guys, if you wish to, the lyrics will be on the screen there. Sing the bridge with me, you know. At the Copacabana. Remember that? Give it your all. And I want to tell you something. It's been a pleasure playing for you. The sound in here is fabulous. My sister, who is 98 years old, said, "Why in the world are you doing this and traveling?" This gives me energy. You know, a lot of artists come here and they try to sell you things you don't need. We're selling things you don't need back there too. You don't need it. And some of the songs we played tonight, you don't need that either. It's not going to change your life or anything. But it's back there. We're delighted to be here. You know, I was going to tell you about when I did This Guy's in Love with You. That lyric needed to be changed because it was written for Dionne Warwick. Is that right? Yes, that's right. And I called Hal David, who wrote the lyric, and asked him if he would change the gender for his TV show, blah, blah, blah. He said he'd be happy to. I flew to New York. And as I was leaving his place, I asked him the same thing I asked Bert. I said, is there a song that maybe you didn't get the right recording, or you find yourself singing in the shower or whistling in the shower? He says, I take baths. I said, in the bathtub. I said, I don't care where you are. Anyways, he sent me Close to You. And I gave it, after I recorded it, but didn't feel that great about the recording. I gave it to Richard Carpenter, and that was the door opener for this incredible group that I signed in 1970. That's when a song was a song. Yeah, songs are rare these days. You know, you're driving your car and you stop at a signal and there's a car next to you playing a song. It sounds like this. I mean, that's another way of making music, I guess. Okay, so we're going to conclude with a song that I've been trying to play for the last couple of years because I like the song, I like the melody. I like melodies, I'm a melody guy. The song is Copacabana by Barry Lambert. It's a little poppy, I know, it's a little pop song, but there's something about that melody that got me. And I was waiting to come up with an idea because I just didn't want to play the song. I mean, it would sound like a lounge act, you know? If I could, so I came up with this idea. Who sang is going to sing that first verse in English. Now, Lonnie doesn't know this right now, but because she can sing in any language. I've heard her sing in Swahili in the shower. She's going to sing this one in Portuguese. She's going to sing it in, you'll do it, honey. You can do it. She's going to sing that in Portuguese, and you guys, if you wish to, the lyrics will be on the screen there. Sing the bridge with me, you know. At the Copacabana. Remember that? Give it your all. And I want to tell you something. It's been a pleasure playing for you. The sound in here is fabulous.